Good morning. We are now on our 126 table talk, and it has been a journey for all of us, and I'm sure with you as well. Today, we're going to start first with the history of faith, hope, and love, how we got to this point, but at the same time, also, our feature topic today is Run to End Hunger. This is the first ever Run to End Hunger that we will be hosting, and we're hoping that this will be, of course, an annual uh, family fun filled event. So we'll talk more about that later on today. But let me start with prayer, and then I'll also introduce later our special guest. God, we thank you today for this beautiful day. Pray, Lord, that you guide our thoughts, and Lord, that we will continue to receive your grace for all aspects of our lives. I pray, Lord, that you lead this conversation well and that you will help us to hear your voice and speak things that glorify you. We pray in Jesus' name, amen. All right, so I will start first with the history of faith, hope, and love. And I'd like for you just to sit back and we're going to reminiscence how faith, hope, and love got started. I will have more detail about the history of faith, hope, and love on our blog. So if you haven't signed up yet on our blog, um, go ahead and sign up. You can just go to our FHL .org website, and it will show you how you can subscribe. But Faith, Hope, and Love started in 2005. It started when I was thinking about how can we do missions. There are a lot of, especially the Christians, a lot of people who are wanting to go on a mission. And back then, 21 years ago, um, the popular thing is that when you hear somebody going on a mission trip, they will say or ask, which country are you going? But we do have mission right here in our own backyard, and that's what I thought. Why not have a mission right here in our own backyard? So that's how we got started. In 2003, I went on a trip to Costa Rica, and I really felt the tug in my heart to how can we help people, the disadvantaged, or people who really need help to be part of a mission. And again, after my mission trip in Costa Rica, that changed my life. And I started to talk to churches uh, in 2004, and started my first letter to churches was in November 2004 about what if God can use our hands and feet in helping other people, and write 30 letters in Nora Castleton area here in Indianapolis, and we had 12 who responded, and then 7 stuck around, and we did the first mission trip in your own backyard in 2005, July 2005, because I wanted children to be part of the mission too. Mission is not just for adults, but we can immerse our families, no matter what age they are. The children and the grandparents to be part of something that could change not just the lives of other people, but first and foremost the lives of those who are participating. Because most of the times, what we will talk about today is that when you are on a mission, most of the time you get affected or impacted first when you are helping rather than the people that you are helping. So some people may say it's a self-service, but it's really not. But that's why Jesus said, it's better to give than to receive. So we receive it in many different ways, and one of the ways is that it could transform our lives, knowing and seeing and experiencing the joy and the gifts of giving service to others. So we'll talk more about that. So it continued on, and in 2006 we started doing, myself and a couple other volunteers using my F-150 truck, going to different street corners, start giving away food to people, because some of the volunteers who first got involved in 2005 for the mission trip in your own backyard get excited, and they cannot wait for the following year, because in my mind back then, mission trip is only once a year. That's what most churches are doing, especially outside the country. And so I did that outreach. It became regular every month, and start partnering again with churches, using their facilities to give away food, and gathering resources inside and outside of the community, involving the people within the community. And that grew also. We partner with businesses using their parking lots to give away food, and then also with school systems and anywhere we can find partners. And it grew. And then in 2009, a church that we partnered with said, hey, how can we do this on a sustainable basis? And that's when I start gathering information, gathering all the emails that I accumulated throughout the years, and created this basic manual how to gather resources, how to train volunteers, and the procedures and the operations for the missional food pantry. And that's what happened. That's how we got started. Missional food pantry. We made it, I think, official. I think in 2015, when we kept on training people and churches, and we call, hey, this is not just food giveaway, this is actually a mission. So one of my board members mentioned something, yeah, it's just like a mission food pantry. And I thought, why not just use missional food pantry? So now we branded that. Since then, we have planted and mobilize over 70 food pantries all across Indiana. And throughout the years, I thought about adding some other things that will complement the mission of the food pantry, not just on the training, but to become sustainable, how to market and how to find partners for the missional food pantries, and also how to involve the entire community. So it grew and grew, and um, so now again, over 70 missional food pantries had been launched. Not necessarily all of them are still, functioning because of COVID, because of change in ministry leaders, or maybe pastors, or relocation, or whatever. But anyway, now we have actually have our footprint, at least in the state of Indiana, that whether Faith, Hope, and Love continues on, or I'm involved or not, then there are missional food pantries around Indiana. Actually, there are I think two or three missional food pantries who are celebrating, who will be celebrating or celebrated their ninth year anniversary of their founding, of the launching of their food pantries. So after that, created a workbook about Beyond This Hunger. You probably heard about that. That most people in this country are hungry emotionally, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. So beyond being hungry physically, we introduced the Beyond This Hunger, which is more of within ourselves. You know, everything starts within ourselves. We can teach, or we can manage people, we can lead people, but not too effectively if we cannot lead ourselves first. So that's why, unless we become more aware of, what are those things that gives us energy, or makes us feel like, oh, somebody just flipped my switch, and all of a sudden your demeanor, your mind start thinking that you were offended, or you were celebrated. But unless we understand and we become aware about our attitude that turns into behavior, then it's going to be an ongoing process like that. So change start with awareness. So if we want to change and then improve in our lives, the quality of our lives, which start in our mind, then we need to become aware. So that's beyond this hunger, and then thought about creating a software for reporting within our network because we have many members in our network of food pantries, and thought about doing that, and then now we are offering the software all around the U.S. and looking forward to work with. There's a pantry in North Carolina that who reach out to us, and they're just deciding to see if they can start the SaltView food access management software. Again, that's for the reporting and also to understand the impact of what we have, what the food pantry have it has in a community beyond the worth of food that they have given, but also the effect in mental wellness. We can quantify that also. Uh, Also, the impact in the economy, we were able to figure out to gather information of the impact in socially and economically, and which is really I'm really stoked up about that. I'm really happy and really excited to offer that to the rest of the food pantries all around the U.S. So that's SaltView, and then now we are in the process of creating Pathway life navigation system, because if we do have programs, and we can measure the programs, but sometimes when programs are not is like there's a start and the end, not sustainable, then a lot of people go back to their old ways of life. So, say for example, a quick one is like losing weight, right? You go in a program, and a lot of times when people finish the program, they may gain weight or go back to the same thing, same weight or whatever. So I thought that if we change from the inside, unless we change and we become aware first of what need to be changed, then we become more sustainable change on that. So that's why we have this pathway, which is an app that people can plug in, what are their needs, and then AI will pull out information, the resources surrounding that, say, zip code of the individual who's needing some help or resources. Then AI will provide all this information. Then it will be funneled to the app, and then the individual may say, okay, well, I need support in, say, mental wellness. I need support for like addiction or maybe unemployment or underemployment. All of those are going to be funneled in that app so that they can use. Now, there are app already that's happening on that, but what we're going to do is that we're going to gamify it, meaning that, just like the model of like crossword puzzle, online. I've seen some people doing that, or maybe chess or whatever. Why they keep on doing that? That's because they gamify it. They provide gifts or maybe provide awards that make them feel good that they come to from one stage to another. And the same thing with this pathway, how they can be motivated to continue on, and hopefully they start that habit that will be more long lasting. So we're looking for sponsors for that, for partners for these two softwares that can be, a game changer for a lot of organizations and also communities. And we also established, because university and academy, because we are in the training, um, capacity building for the organizations. Why not also offer the training and education to individuals? And this July, I will be going to Kenya, Akala, Kenya, because we have 70 students there, local students who are um, graduating, uh, receiving their associate degree in missional community development in their own country. So with that, I'm really excited. I'll be speaking, already setting up the stage for me to speak with community leaders, including the government officials, the leaders in their own countries, and also in their own communities. So really looking forward to that. Another thing is the of course the table talk, and that's what we are doing right now. Is we are on the 126th table talk, monthly table talk. So I'd like to bring our guest. I'll talk more about the introductions, about the things that's happening, the timeline of Faith, Hope, and Love. But I'm going to bring the chairwoman for our Run to End Hunger, our very first Run to End Hunger. So um, we are our special guest is May Purnell. So May, thank you for joining us for this 126 monthly table talk. So if you can introduce yourself and then introduce also what's going to happen on Saturday.
Okay, my name is May Parnell, and I'm the sister of Merlin. And I live in St. Louis, Missouri. And we are so excited about this upcoming event on Saturday, which is Run to End Hunger.
Yeah. So tell us how this got started. Many people didn't realize that it was your idea, and then I thought about it. We discussed it, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, if I can remember, we were just like, I believe, on the phone talking about your motorcycle event
Mm,
that that happens every fall. And I suggested to you, hey, why not do the run in spring or summer? This will be, good for people who would like to be on a healthy side, and also at the same time helping the community. So, and that's how it all started, just by simply talking on the phone, and you never know what you will get from a simple talk. And here we are.
yeah. So what inspired you on that? I know this is a family style event, but also I know that you were part of some kind of events like this. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I mean, it all started, during the pandemic. And I experienced this myself. During the pandemic, we were all confined in the house and you can't even go out. And during that time, I felt like I got depressed. Every time my husband will come in, I will ask him, let's go for a drive, and I will cry.
Mm,
And then that's how it started. I said, well, I think it's time for me to go outside, you know, be closer to the nature. And I started walking, and I felt the difference. When
mm,
you go outside, be more active, you will free your mind.
mm.
And that's how it started. And I said, well, this is a good idea to help other people who are experiencing the same kind of mental, emotional issue during hard times.
Well,
So,
that introduction, you being vulnerable and transparent, and this might change the pathway of this table talk
mhm.
because, as you mentioned, there are a lot of people, or still now, suffering because of isolation. And based on my experience, and even now working with healthcare organizations such as IU Health in the past, Eskenazi HealthNet, and Marin County Health Department. one thing they talk about is the the isolation, the effect of isolation to our emotional and mental wellness. So tell us more about how did it help you and what did you do to overcome that, or to at least to give you, you know, some kind of healing. How did you overcome that in the context of Run to End Hunger?
Well, walking, running, you will be, especially outdoors, you will be closer to nature. It will free up your mind. And while you're walking, you will think of something good that is, it's out there. It's not all about the problems and, what you're experiencing. So for me, I would like to share that. And, mentally, emotionally, it's like a connection of building a healthy life and healthy body. So there's a connection. So a lot of people these days, they are hungry for connection. And mentally, if you are hungry, if you needed some connection, and it will affect your whole body, your heart, your blood pressure, everything.
Yeah,
So there's a connection to that. So we want to make it sure that we are healthy mentally and physically.
yeah. So you you say something there about being in nature,
Hmm.
and so I'd like to go back and forth our conversation with what you experience, what helped you, and also in connection to the upcoming Run to End Hunger. So you and I, you know, I went to a couple of different places, and then you and I visited the fitness farm, which is
Hmm.
probably 2 to 3 miles away from Faith Hope and Love office, and it feels good with that. So tell us more for those people who are watching now, or will be watching later on today because they're still working. Uh, why did we choose, or maybe describe the place first, and why did we choose it?
Well, first of all, since this is the first Run to End Hunger, the walk alone, it's not intimidating. It's short, and
Hmm.
then you will see, trees, nature. They have like farm animals that the kids will enjoy, even adults,
Hmm.
and it will refresh your mind. That's the reason why we chose it, and it's really a perfect location. And thanks to Nicole and Selena for all the help.
Mm. Yeah, you know, for those of you, um, you know, I didn't even know about it. You know, it's a farm. It's, I don't know total how many acres there are. It's on Kessler and I think 44th Street. So a little bit, you know, west side, northwest side of Indianapolis, but it's fenced in. So that's why it's really good for family event, and plenty of space. That's what May mentioned about what's in the farm. Of course, farm, you do have farm animals, you have goats and some other animals there, and then also some gardens. So for those of you who are looking to have like a Saturday morning event, family event, this will be great. But there's also, tell us more about that. There will be awards also. So walk us through first as far as what are the things that's going to happen and what we can expect at Run to End Hunger.
Okay, so it's basically the same as any marathon or half marathon. People will be coming in, the participants, they will register, and course, we're gonna pin the numbers and everything and do the run. I believe the since the farm is a little small, I believe it's like uh, there will be like 6 laps. Per lap will be zero point 0.5 miles. So you will be running 6 times,
Mhm.
and there will be someone guiding you.
Yeah.
And of course, we're gonna make this fun because this is for families, and there will be like costume contests. So you can wear anything you want, like tutus, something fun and colorful, spring colors. And the kids will enjoy this, even the adults, I would say. Will be have
Wow.
some food, music, and maybe my brother will sing. So let's see.
All right. So you said costume contest. I
Hmm.
think, right after Easter, I think most parents haven't packed those costumes yet. So,
Hmm.
for those of you who are thinking, again, a fun-filled, family-oriented event, if you want to do something Saturday, we start at 8:30 for the registration, and also I will be sharing something about some emotional, mental wellness, health wellness. Also, we'd like to for you to come over. So there is, I understand there's medals also. Can you tell us more about that?
The medals will be distributed to all the participants, and you will love this medal. This is extraordinary, and if you are planning to collect medals on your walk, this is the first one that you need to get.
Hmm.
So all participants will receive it. And of course, we're gonna track the time, who will be the first to reach the finish line, first, second, third, and so on and so forth.
Okay, tell me about the costume contest. So the costume contest is not only for children; it's for everyone. Is there like a differentiation as far as like the adult first place or the children first place?
Well, will be adults and children. And
Okay,
I think the parents and the children will love this. And
yeah.
it's good to start your children on to be healthy, because this will encourage them. Oh, okay, so I can run like this, have fun, and yet I can collect my medals. So it will be fun. So we're encouraging everybody to attend this the inauguration of the Run to End Hunger.
So take us back again on your experience. Let's go back again. During COVID or after COVID.
Hmm.
Um, how has been your experience uh, getting involved in this kind of events, and how it helped you, and also now that if it helped you, what motivated you to actually lead something like this, like Run to End Hunger?
Well, okay. So what motivated me is, of course, during COVID, I was a little depressed. I was crying, and I have to, like I said earlier, I have to ask my husband to take me for a drive every time he gets home. And during uh, while he's working, I decided to, okay, let me go outside and see what's out there. And I think when you go outside, you will meet people that share the same common interest. And
Hmm.
then from there, uh, you know, it will help you to cope whatever problem you have. This is a free therapy, to be honest with you. Some people will pay a whole lot of money to talk to someone, just sit in a room talking to someone about your problem. But this going outside, walking, running, meeting other people, it's free. So this is a good start.
All right. So I see that this is like a therapy for you then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It is a therapy. It helps me a lot.
So for those
I,
people who are like spending like thousands of dollars of therapy, this might be a good alternative to really take a
yeah,
look at being more social.
exactly. And you pay what? 25, $50 for a run and you meet other people, you talk, exchange phone numbers, and it's really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, before COVID, I will go for a walk or run maybe once, twice a week. But after COVID, I'm out there in nature
Hmm.
5 to 6 days a week. I do 2 to 3 miles, sometimes 5, 7 miles a day. I
Wow.
don't run the whole 5 or 7 miles, but I run walk, and it's good for your heart too.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something about, of course, events like this cost money to put together. So tell us more about the cost for Run to End Hunger, and besides the medals, what will they also be receiving?
Okay, Run to End Hunger. I know we have the early bird special for $25, and then I believe a week or 10 days prior the event, we drop it to, no, it goes up to 35, and the day of the event, I believe it's like 50 or 55. But
Okay.
what was your question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then also like there's like a family package too, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, there's a family package, $15 per person for a family of two plus. And
Okay.
we also have the virtual run, because we want to a lot of people reach out to a lot of people about this run. So the virtual run is, you register, and you can go on your own pace at your own time. There's no pressure on how fast you go. So really, you are running or walking for yourself, and at the same time, you are providing help to the people in need.
Okay. That is really, the first time actually, because I have not been to an event like this for like 20 years or whatever. That
Mhm.
virtual run actually intrigued me. And so, what you're saying on the virtual run is that they can still participate even though they are not at the actual venue at the actual time.
Exactly. Yeah, wherever you are, you can do the run at the gym, or even doing your groceries. You can track that as long as you are moving. So go to
Okay.
the park, groceries, the gym, whatever, go up and down the steps at your house. Yeah,
And
as long as you track it.
all right. So if say for example, I know, my son, Andrew will be,
Hmm.
his family will be joining us.
Right.
Um, the baby, my grandson will be there. My uh, daughter-in-law and their au pair, and I think they're going to bring the dogs also.
Hmm.
So that's why it's going to be a lot of fun. But let's go back to virtual because Andrew will be doing the virtual while he's working because it's his time to work, scheduled to work this Saturday. You said that you keep track of that. So for him, do you provide forms? Do you provide instructions and also accountability? So can you walk us through on that?
Okay, so for the virtual registration, um, let's see here. All they need to do is to take a screenshot. Let's say on the phone, you set your phone or on your watch, and your watch can track how many steps and how far you walk, and you just track it, and then take a picture, send it to FHL, and then after that, we're gonna send them the medal of accomplishment.
Okay.
And who knows, this might be the beginning of collecting all the medals that Run to End Hunger are going to have each year.
Wow. And you're saying that they don't need to do this on Saturday.
No, they can do it anytime. Anytime within the month of April, they can do that.
Wow. So for those of you, if you do have any questions, you can put that on the comments, and we will address those questions for you, or maybe even comments. So this really changes how we do these events now, because we do have the virtual run that people can join in. So let me just give you some more. We'll go back to you, May. We'll
Okay.
do some um, things about, again, the history of Faith, Hope, and Love, and the upcoming events. So I just want you to, you know, think about what we talk about this Run to End Hunger, which is coming up Saturday here in Indianapolis, but you can actually join us virtually. We'll talk more about that a little later. But again, for the history of Faith, Hope, and Love, I am writing a blog that's actually detailing the different stages of the history of Faith, Hope, and Love. I think, again, it's good to start, but also it's another thing to sustain, and another thing to tell the story of a person or of an organization. So I encourage you to subscribe on our blog, and you can subscribe via our website, fhlcommunity.org. And also, you can see the blogs on our LinkedIn, on our Facebook, social media postings. I'd like to also continue on the history. So the next thing that we had on the history of Faith, Hope, and Love is, the food as medicine. So all these things that I have mentioned to you before, missional food pantry training and launching, uh, missional community development courses under FHL University, and the salt vision pathway softwares, and the food as medicine, which is more on the nutritious part of it. We're building up the website for that, so that you can actually participate on that also virtually. Uh, Regarding my trip to Akala, Kenya, of course, I will be posting, and also while I am in Kenya, so that you can see what's happening there. Please be praying for me regarding that. I will be raising $15,000 because I will be there for 3 weeks. Not only we will be celebrating the graduation ceremony of the seven pastors and community leaders in Kenya, but also I will be meeting with government officials, with business owners, business leaders, economic leaders, and also other organizations there and churches for, God willing, the establishment of physical university, FHL University in Akala, Kenya. So, just think about that. That's huge. Establishing a university outside United States is a big undertaking. And I would say that's a God-sized vision, God-sized dream, and only God, of course, through our collaborating or cooperation and activities, that we will be able to attain that. So here's my challenge for you, is that if you would like to be part of planting the seed of establishing a sustainable university in Kenya, you can email me at merlin@fhlinternational.org, or you will see that this also coming up sometime next week or the following week on our website, how to get involved without leaving home, meaning that through prayers or maybe financial contribution, that you'll be able to plant the seed. You're part of establishing FHL University, a Christian university in Kenya. And I can tell you more, but we just don't have the time to do that now. How it this old vision is starting to become a reality. At least me going to Kenya and meeting the graduates there. So again, if you want to get more involved, or if you want to be a student here in the US, or maybe out in intercontinental United States, or maybe Philippines, India, Pakistan, or Kenya, you can also be a student virtually, and we have done that successfully, at least in Kenya. And if you want to receive an associate or soon a BS degree from an accredited Christian university in United States, you can just email us, or just contact us via our social media as well. So this is really exciting for us. Now let's go back again to Run to End Hunger. We only have a few more minutes here, so if you do have any questions for May. She's the chair woman for the event. You can put that on the comments, and we will answer that for you. Or if you do have any comments also, then you can do so also. All right. So now let's go back again. It started the vision started through experience of May, especially during COVID, the mental wellness, and now that's why we do have this Run to End Hunger, is to raise awareness, not just the physical hunger, but also the mental and emotional hunger of individuals. Now, for the Run May,
Mhm.
so start will be check in
Mhm.
around 8:30 registration, and then I'll be speaking briefly about some mental, emotional wellness materials, and then I'll be also extending, um, providing passport to health to each of the participants, so that they can take a look at like a brief, uh, study, or maybe review about the basics of becoming healthy emotionally and mentally. Uh, Now, for the Run to End Hunger, um, there will also be like, it's also like a competition. There will be a person who's going to be like the first place, or that's only for the costume party.
Yeah, of course, there will be a first place, um, because all runs, there's got to be one who will finish the line first, and we have to acknowledge that. But do not feel pressure about not being the first on the finish line. This is we're going to make this as a fun family event. So do not feel pressure. You can walk, you can run as fast as you want to, walk, run, or hop, whatever you want to do. Let's make this fun and colorful. So when you attend, please wear your colorful clothes or whatever costume, and bring your kids. This will be
All
fun
right.
for them to experience too.
So if an individual is um, wear a costume. Say, for
Hmm.
example, I wear a costume. So
Yeah.
that's the attire that I will be using, wearing during the run.
Yes. So please do not wear like a big old dinosaur costume because you
Okay.
will not be able you will not be able to run or walk freely. So
All right. Well,
just be
that will be
mindful of what
really
you will
fun.
wear.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, that may scare some of the neighbors there when they see hippopotamus running around the place or something. So it's gonna be real fun. There's some kind of competitions for the costume
Hmm.
contest and also for the run. So you're saying that I can bring my baby or I can bring my grandparents. This is open to all ages.
Hmm. No pressure.
All right.
No pressure at all. Because most of the 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, it's all pressure. You are competing. You want to be there because, be like on top 10. This is all about fun. That's where we want to be. And having fun always help your mental um health.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that one of the
Yeah.
best medicine is having fun and also
Hmm.
smiling and laughing and not being isolated. So for those
Right.
of you again, this is a great event, and I was just thinking when we were talking, me and May were talking about this, and she said, "Yeah, let's not just talk about hunger physically, but also emotionally and mentally." And I think that is really it's a good pairing, good
Hmm.
combination of having fun, plus also the end effect of that would be therapy or not just having fun but actually good for you physically, mentally, and also emotionally. So what would be your encouragement to the people watching right now? We had many different people watching here from Ohio, here in Indianapolis. Um, what would be your um, encouragement? Say, for example, for families and oriented bringing their children, but also the next one is that for the adults.
Well, for the family, this will be a great, keeping the family together. Let's set a date, join the run, and have some fun. And for the individuals, like I said, for a virtual run on your day off, especially if you're off on Saturday, if you have
Yeah.
not registered, please register. Go walk in your neighborhood, park, and then when you're done, you're going to receive this really nice medal. It's really a nice medal. I hope we have a sample here that we can show to them, but do we have one?
Yeah, I can ask. So
Yeah.
go ahead and talk more about the virtual also while I get the medal.
Okay. The virtual run, everybody's invited. And if you go to a FHLL website, there will be a link to complete the form. And it's a simple form, write your name, address, form of payment, and I believe right now it's $25, in which, you cannot pay, you cannot measure the price of $25 for the fund that you're going to receive and for your health. So let's make this a fun event in person and virtually.
Right, right. Yeah, I got the medal here.
Uh-huh.
So this is the medal. I tell you what, it's heavy because this is, I think, pewter or something. But as you can see here on the camera, let me just uh, do this. So as you can see, it's very colorful and it's engraved. It's not just like printed; it's actually embossed with different colors there. So that's the front, and this is the back of it. and so you can see it's shiny. Again, this is good material, and then the front and the back of the necklace type strap, that's what you can see. It has the date, so it's the commemorative first annual um Run to End Hunger. As you can see there, it says first annual Run to End Hunger, and then again the logo there, and then the date. So yeah, everyone will be receiving this. So again, as what May mentioned, that if you are um, you know planning a nice family event, this will be in addition to your collection. And yeah, that's what I found out also from May, that many people are actually collecting. So if you're collecting medals, I tell you what, this is probably one of the nicest medals that you can receive.
Yeah.
So virtually, I know that we have people from Colorado, from Missouri, uh, probably from northern Indiana, and also I believe we have one from Kenya also that registered. So now it's all over the world. So for virtual, you mentioned that they can do it, um, you know, um, any time of the year or anywhere. And I know your grandchildren are also part of this. So tell us what they're
Oh,
going
yeah.
to do there in Missouri.
Okay, so one of my grandkids, they're gonna go to a farm. My son is
Okay.
gonna take them, and
Uh-huh.
I told my son, make sure that you track the time, because my granddaughter, she runs uh what do you call it, cross country, and she's very excited about this. She's very active, and would you like to? I mean, she wanted to have this medal, and she wanted to hang it in her room and everything.
Wow.
And that's why I would like to invite everybody. Bring your kids, have your kids get involved to this, and be one of the pioneers to receive this first medal of Run to End Hunger, because we're gonna continue this, and we're hoping to make this big.
Now, maybe, and again, depending on the committee, right? We do have a committee
Right.
here. Maybe start looking for like the face of Run to End Hunger. You know, like
Hmm.
your maybe a candidate, maybe your granddaughter, to encourage the younger generation, and maybe another one in their senior, age or whatever, to be the adult representative of Run to End Hunger. So for those of you who would like to be in the limelight, there's still time, whether how young or how old you are, you can
Exactly.
still be part of this. So, okay, well, we only have a few more minutes here. So, any last word that you will share about your experience again? It started, with COVID, and how you cope with it, and also tying it with the Run to End Hunger.
Well, just being outdoors, smell the fresh air. Like I said, nature will calm your mind. And that's based on my experience. That's why me and my husband, we like to go to national parks. We like to hike.
Mm-hmm.
I will drag my husband who walks slow, but he will accompany me. So you can do this by yourself or with your partner or, husband, friends. This will be really good for your health, mentally and physically.
You're talking about the future, or your dream for this
Hmm.
Run to End Hunger. So what's your dream? Let's say 5 years from now, for those of you who are seniors, how old will you be 5 years from now? But what's your
Well,
vision, or what's your dream?
okay, so here, when I was in my 30s or 40s, I never thought. of doing this. Never. Because, I feel like, okay, I'm healthy, I'm 30 years old, but as you get older, you need to take care of yourself. No one will take care of you except yourself. And this is, a simple way of taking care of yourself, eating healthy, of course, moving and meeting people that will, combine all uh, the experience that you want to get out there.
Okay.
So, and,
Um,
I mean, this is really good for me.
right.
And I hope to
So
for everybody.
now, as you know, you're thinking about making it big,
Yeah.
then for those of you who are watching, that we probably need to build up our committee members for next year. I'm sure that people are getting excited now hearing about this, and I tell you what, I'm really getting excited for this Saturday. There are some things that I still have to do today and tomorrow, but that's okay because this is really not work. This is actually joy. And for those of you who are thinking about how can I get involved next year, you can contact May, and we'll give you the information later on, or you can just contact info at FHL International, and then we can funnel your information to May or to other people. So I think that's all we have for now. Thank you for being the chairwoman. I actually personally happy that you got involved in the ministry. I know you're involved in some way or another. You're supporting it in prayers and financially in the past, but now that you are one of the leaders, actually. I'm really so happy about that. My other sister, I have two sisters. The younger sister, we're working on her, me and May, to bring her clan. She has the biggest. All right, this is a family affair. She has the biggest family in our family, and but yeah, she's participating, but also me and my sister, my youngest sister, are working on a grant. It's about health also. It's about delivering food to the seniors or to the homebound in rural areas, and those are the vulnerable, so most vulnerable individuals. So me and her are in the planning stage of that. So again, I just want to thank May and also the committee, Nicole, Annie, and also Selena, thanking ahead of time the volunteers who are also participating on Saturday for this Run to End Hunger. And there's still time for you to register tomorrow. You can still register, but also at the event, if you want to just walk in, you can still be part of this inaugural event, the Run to End Hunger. Until then, I'll see you next month, and God bless you. And don't forget, God loves you, and I love you too. And stay for our ending video.